Welcome everybody. This is going to be a brief introduction tutorial to edit subdivision in Vectorworks to create a jelly bean. Obviously a jelly bean is really small, so before we get started, first thing we're going to do is check the scale of our project. So we're going to come up to Tools, Organization, and in our Design Layers tab, we're going to make sure our scale is set 1:1. If yours is not, you can click Edit, Scale, and then change it to 1:1. So we're going to say okay, and back out. Now, inside of our tool sets, we have the 3D modeling tab. In there is Edit Subdivision. We're going to double click here in the tool sets, Edit Subdivision. It's going to bring up the Create Subdivision Primitive menu. In the top tab, we're going to start with a cylinder, so we're going to select that. In our size, we're going to start with 1/4 inch. We're going to select OK, and then drop one in. Now I'm going to use our different views here to look at the front of this thing and make sure you're an orthogonal view for this exercise. I'm also going to use the flyover tool, which is over here in your basic tools. It is Shift-C for the shortcut if you are on Mac. So I'm going to use that. First I'm going to click it. Your first click is going to set an anchor point, and the second click is going to rotate around it. So for this we're going to click in the center of our object, and the second click I'm going to hold down and roll it forward. Now I'm going to come back to our Edit Subdivision tool, and up here in the top left we've got our different modes. I'm going to select the second from the left called Crease Mode, and then come back over here to our object, highlight the top, and click once. That's going to round it off. Now we need to make this thing a little bit longer, so what I'm going to do is grab my flyover tool again, Shift-C, click, roll to the bottom. I'm going to come back to my tool sets, select Edit Subdivision again, and this time we're going to use the far left control. This is mode. This is transform mode. So we're going to select it. I'm going to come to the bottom here, click once, and you'll see these controls pop up. I'm going to grab this bottom arrow and drag it down. Alright, I'm going to use the crease mode now to round off the bottom end. So again, with the Edit Subdivision tool, over here in the different modes, in the top left, we're going to select crease mode, and we're just going to click the bottom. So now we've kind of got an egg shape going on. Let's look at the front of this thing using our saved views here. That's actually not a saved view. Your saved views are here. These are just the different presets. Anyway, selecting Edit Subdivision again, making sure we're still on that tool set. Now we're going to come up here and grab Split Mode. It should be the fourth from the left option. Looking at the front of our little egg shape here, I'm going to draw 3 lines across the center. They don't have to be perfectly lined up because jelly beans are not perfectly symmetrical, but there we go. Alright, so to show you what this did, I'm going to use the flyover tool and rotate it a little bit to the side here. I'm going to select it, Edit Subdivision, and now you can see I've actually created a lot of these little points. Well, using the Transform tool, you can grab and manipulate individual points. So for this exercise, what we want to do is kind of dent this whole line in. So we are going to go back to our front view, and this time I'm going to select and highlight over that dot, because that's going to grab the one in the front and the one behind it. So if I move it, I've got control over both sides of our little bean. So let's get that about, I don't know, there. We're going to grab our second row here. We're going to pull it a little bit further. There we go. And we'll do the same for the third. We'll just give it a little bump in. Now we're going to do something with the corners over here, make it a little bit more kind of a bean shape. Grab the bottom. There we go. Alright, this is starting to take shape. So I'm going to select my flyover tool and give it a little look around. Now it's still a little wide, so what we'll do is go to our top view, select Edit Subdivision, make sure we are still on our transform mode, and this time we're going to click and drag and highlight all of these points. I'm going to grab this control and we are going to just squish it down. Oop, about there. Alright, grab my flyover tool, Shift C, flip around, and there we go. This is starting to take shape. So I think you've got an idea of what's going on here. You can manipulate this thing until it looks right to you, but that is the basics of using Edit Subdivision in Vectorworks. You can apply a texture to this and dress it however you like. Thanks for watching.